Hi, and welcome to Level Up Your Inner Power. This is Luyip. It's the podcast that activates and awakens the part of you that's always known you're meant for more. It's the podcast that unlocks the power within you to shift and transform the energy of everything around you. Hi, I'm Juliet Martine.
And I'm Danielle Flood. And this is your space where the masks come off, the energy gets real, and you get to come home to yourself and be who you truly are, the real you.
Thank you so much for listening and joining us on it's our first podcast. We're both very excited and nervous. We really appreciate you being here because we value you, your time, and we want to make sure you get the maximum value out of this time and space together here in every way possible. So we are super excited you're here, and this has really been brewing for Danielle and I for a long time. The Level Up Your Inner Power podcast, to us, it's not just another personal development show. It's for people who are really done playing small and really ready to live their life from the inside out, to level it up. We're talking about soul work. We're talking about getting grounded in your inner power and really giving yourself permission to stop holding back and start living the fullness of your being and really transforming your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Juliet. Oh, it's so exciting to be here. Being our first episode, we thought it might be helpful, though, to, give you a little bit of an intro of who we are, because you don't know who we are. So I am Danielle, and that is Juliet that you just heard before. And Juliet and I come from two different worlds, but really powerful pathways that collided with purpose. Juliet is this powerhouse healer and spiritual teacher with over 25 years of experience helping thousands of clients all around the world. Her work goes deep, real deep. It gets right to the root of everything, and it's awesome. And she doesn't just help people change their mindset. She really helps people clear their energetic root, rewrite their soul story, and reclaim the life that they're meant to lead. And I am a testament to her work, being working with her. She was my healer for many years, and she is just the bee's knees.
Mm-hmm. And that gorgeous Danielle you're listening to, oh, baby. You are going to fall in love with Danielle as much as I love her. She is what I would call the embodiment queen. Her work with people activates real world change in the body through movement, repairing nervous systems, bringing you grounded practices that help you reconnect with your inner power in the here and the now. And, together we bring the soul and the somatics, the vision and the vibration, the insight, as well as the really important integration.
And let's just set the scene straight up. If you're looking for fluff, this is not your podcast. We do not do fluff. We're not here to sell you positive vibes and manifesting hacks while your life quietly burns and crumbles in the background. We're actually here to help you shift energetically, emotionally, and physically, so you transform your life for real and it lasts.
So we're talking Luyip. It's hard to get your mouth around the word Luyip, or level up your inner power. Luyip was actually born out of a very real and personal calling. We see lots of people, all sorts of people from all walks of life, all ages. I work with people who are in their early 20s through to 60s and 70s. And we keep seeing people who are feeling stuck. They're feeling burnt out, disconnected, they're living on autopilot, and we just know it doesn't have to be that way. We're really passionate about helping people get out of that stuckness.
Yeah, and it's not about fixing you, because the thing is, you're not broken, but your inner powers, that part of you that knows, might be buried under years of conditioning, people-pleasing. Oh, people-pleasing. Ooh,
no idea what you're talking about, Danielle.
Trauma, or just the busyness and noise of life. Luyip exists to help you come back into the alignment with your inner power. And that looks different for everyone. So for some people, it's finally speaking their truth. For others, it's letting go of toxic cycles. For others, it's remembering what it feels like to be deeply alive and connected to something bigger. So it's different for all of us. And you'll all journey through it differently with us.
Yeah. And you know why a podcast? Well, because the conversations we've been having behind the scenes between Danielle and I with our clients in our circles, there are all kinds of conversations, and they're conversations that the world needs more of. So we're not here to lecture. This podcast is about real talk, unfiltered, unpolished, often messy. We're going to let go of all of the, perfectionism, because, that's what true transformation looks like from that soul deep level. We'll share stories with you, client breakthroughs without breaking any confidentiality, of course, because everyone's personal journey is very private. We'll share some spiritual tools with you and nervous system, wisdom and transformation. We're also going to share failures with you and the moments that crack us open individually and collectively. Really more than anything, I just want you to know, if you've ever felt like there's got to be more, there's more to you, more to life, that you want to get, live life to your fullest, this podcast is your home. And I want to really welcome you on that personal level. If you've outgrown surface level strategies and you want really grounded tools that you can use in real life for deep inner and outer transformation, then that's what we're here for. And we've got you.
We absolutely have. And one of the things that was really strong for me in us doing this podcast as well is that you're not alone. I know I journeyed through a lot of shit in my life and I felt so alone. So we really wanted to create this safe space, this podcast where you can actually listen and go, oh my God, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's happened to me. Oh my, you get it. But that is this podcast, right? And so each week we're going to dive into different topics. It could be about energetic boundaries. It could be about embodied practices, identity shifts, soul alignment, conscious relationships, shadow work, nervous systems, manifesting with integrity. Oh my God, there's so much that we're going to be covering. And it's going to be a great ride for us all. So some episodes is just going to be us deep diving, and others will have some raw conversations with some guest speakers who walk their talk. You might laugh, you might cry. I'll definitely laugh and cry.
She will.
But we promised you. Yeah, you and my cackle, you'll get to hear my cackle. But I want to promise you'll feel seen, and you'll leave every episode with something real that you can use. So you don't need to be more spiritual. You don't need to be more healed to be here. You just need to be willing to come as you are, because we love you as you are.
We do.
Yes, we do. And if you're loving the vibe already, we want to officially invite you to something that's really special, which is the Luyip Circle. So this is going to be our private membership space, which will be launching soon. So make sure you stay connected with us. But it's where the podcast, we go a little bit deeper than what we do in the podcast. So we're sort of looking at a weekly live coaching session with us. So that's real time with us. It's Q&As, it's guided meditations, it's rituals, you could have a guest and have a guest masterclass, energy clearings. There's a hot seat, and it's just a way for all of us to come together as a community of like-hearted souls, and have a space where we can just be seen and be real. It's not just a membership, it's a real, I'm going to call it like a power portal, like a frequency. It's just a place for everyone to come there who is ready to stop skimming the surface of life and just living to survive. And it's for those people that actually really want to connect with their inner power and their truth. If you've been craving a place to be fully you, on all levels, successful, spiritual, messy, raw, unraveling, expanding, all at once, this is the place. So just stay connected with us and we will give you more information on the circle.
So being our first podcast, we wanted to dive into something today that kind of relates to where we'd love to journey with you, which is really helping you level up your inner power. But before we can do that, it starts with the choice. What do we want for ourselves? Do we actually want more? And then what I refer to as the C word.
Ooh.
Not what you might think, but today we're going to talk about the C word, which is commitment.
Oof.
And not even the type of commitment that you might be thinking about. We talk about commitment in relationships and, showing up fully there. But I'm talking about really showing up for yourself. It's not about...
imagine that.
Straight away, how would your life be different if you fully showed up for yourself and you really fully committed to that? We're not talking about hustling harder or pushing yourself more or beating any kind of drum. It's really about understanding what your commitment means on an energetic level, because your inner frequency doesn't lie, and the universe is listening to that inner frequency 24/7. So you can say all the things that you want, visualize the dream, say what you want to manifest, keep repeating affirmations until you go blue in the face, journal until your hand cramps. But, if there's an energetic wobble that's happening internally, if there's any misalignment internally, if you're driving with, the brakes on that unconscious level, and that's being applied to your internal energy, then it doesn't matter where you say you want to be, you're going to find things way more difficult than they actually could be otherwise. And so that's where commitment comes in. So let's get really, really clear about what we're talking about here. Energetic commitment means your whole system, your thoughts, your emotions, your body, through your actions, your soul is 100% fully committed, fully aligned, fully on board with what you say you want. It's a difference between saying, I'm ready for change, but I want it, versus actually being in a heck yeah vibrational match with what it is you're moving into.
Yeah, absolutely. And that makes me think about all the things that have happened in my life, or you think about all the things that happened in your life, and when you've made changes, whether it be in a career, in a relationship, having a conversation that's been really hard, like all those little things that have changed the course of your life, whether it be a big way or a little way. And what was that moment that you were feeling to make that change? That is the commitment. So if you're thinking about what we're talking about here, it's about when you've fully made a commitment to yourself to make a change in your life. And we do it all the time, and we often do it unconsciously when it feels so aligned and so right. But then we get so stuck, then we have to really just sort of go, okay, what's underneath it? So yeah, commitment's it's a huge thing, because we make those choices every day, and we're not consciously sort of aligned, or it's just so automatic, So we forget that those commitments are choices to make every day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we say we want something in life, whether you think of it from a manifestation perspective or just simply, I'd like improvements and changes to come into my life, if they're not happening, it's because either we're not fully committed, we're not fully aligned with it, there's something going on underneath that's blocking it, we're not showing up as our full divine self to actually receive and allow the things that we say we want to come into our life, or it's not the right time or place. But 9.99999 times out of 10, it'll be because we are not in that 100% alignment, and so we're not actually fully committed. We might have conflicting things that we're wanting, or we might have limiting beliefs going on underneath, or we might have fears or doubts that are kind of taking our energy and our vibrational frequency in different directions. And so, life becomes more of a struggle and an effort and a grind and a push, rather than actually setting a clear intent, saying, this is what I want, I'm 100% in alignment with it. Bring it on, universe. Show me just how friggin' good it can get, which is when things happen easily. And I had an example of this in my own life recently. I've decided that I'm going to change the way I do manifestation coaching with clients. And I was a little bit nervous about it. But when I realized, I wasn't fully committed, what I actually did was level up. I really took it to a much higher place and committed to it fully, to go, this is what is my calling. This is what feels right, in addition to the healing work and other things that I do with clients. And so I actually leveled up. And what happened was, out of that full-on commitment, a whole new program and package and way of working with clients came through that, I'm not exaggerating this, Danielle, and you listening, you might not believe this. But literally within 10 minutes of me shifting my internal energy and making that decision, I had an email come through from a client who said they want to work with me in this way.
Yeah, totally.
Before I'd even put it out anywhere, I was transmitting it energetically. I cleared what was blocking me. I don't know, Danielle, have you got any examples from your life when you weren't fully in that alignment and fully committed with the things that you said you were wanting to attract?
Oh, I have quite a few.
Would you like to take one from the buffet of life?
How much time do I have? Look, for me, I think my biggest one was my commitment to my healing. And that's really hard. I spent a lot of years doubting myself. I really struggled with my confidence. I struggled with my self-worth. I struggled with my doubt. I just had that constant chatter about I wasn't good enough, and ended up in my 20s, I was a very different person to what I am today. And it took a lot of courage for me, and I won't dive deep in our first episode. I might scare too many people off about my journey, but my 20s was really hard. And when I stepped into my 30s, I had to do a lot of work on myself. And it was really fucking hard. And there were many times where I just wanted to step out and just go back to just something that felt normal, but instead I had to sort of rediscover who I was. But I was so committed to being the true person that I'm meant to be, which is who I am today. And it was hard, but through it all, I was committed to my healing because I knew I deserved better, I wanted better, and I knew that the person within me was just amazing, and I just lost my way. So, that was a huge commitment. I lost a lot of people along the way, and, I've changed a lot. So, people meet me now that knew me 20 years ago, and they're just like, oh my God, who the hell are you? But yeah, it was a huge commitment. So that's probably the biggest commitment I've made to myself, for myself, and I'm unapologetically me now, and I love it. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I have those moments where I have that little critic inside of me, but I am so grateful that I committed to myself because no one else was going to do it. Yeah.
That's so key. No one else is going to do it for us. Yeah. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably because you're wanting more for yourself. There's more to you. There's more to life. That you can live a fuller, richer life where you get to live your full potential. And so committing to yourself and your journey and your path and leveling up from the inside out is where it begins. It's actually making that decision. Not only do I want more, but I'm actually going to go for it. I'm going to give myself permission to do the inner work, to walk the journey, walk the path to experience more. Because you know what? We have this one life. We're here now. You want to get the most out of it. I'm referring to it as the good kind of greedy. It's the luyip greedy that says, I want more. I'm greedy for more. I want better quality health. I want better quality relationships. I want more beautiful people in my life, more opportunities. I want to, really express the fullness of who I am through my work, through my career. I want to enjoy wealth in all its forms, a wealth of health and financial abundance and love. I mean, who doesn't want more love in their life?
Yeah.
If your cup is full with love and you can't fit any more love in your life, then I say expand your cup.
Get a bigger mug, I say. Let's talk about some of the symptoms of what it's like to sort of live life when you're driving with the brakes on or when you're just sort of holding your back, right?
Yeah. Yep. And you're not fully committed. What does that look like, Danielle?
What does it look like? Well, it's inconsistent. So one day you're lit up and then the next day you're spiraling in doubt. So there's that real up and down. So it's like you're dipping your toe in and out. In, out, in, out. So I see this visual of, you're going forward, then backwards, forwards and backwards. Another big one is you might start something and then you never finish it.
Oh, tell me about that one, my love.
I love about that. Procrastination was such a big part of my life for a long time. Even now when it happens, I'll start something and I don't finish it. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like there's always something going on, whether it be, I'm not fully committed to it, or I've got some doubt, or I'm self-sabotaging. Oof.
Love that one, Danielle.
We all do it.
I've got no idea what you're talking about. I have never once self-sabotaged myself in my
Never?
entire.
Oh my God, you're amazing.
I am amazing, and I'm also a bullshit artist. Self-sabotage is something that we all deal with.
We all deal with it. And what about waiting for permission? Like, who are you waiting for permission from? Like, who's going to tell you to do something or it's the perfect time? Let me tell you right now, it is never the perfect time. No one needs to give you permission except yourself. You are the only one that's holding you back.
That is probably one of the hardest lessons I've learned in life is there's never a good time to do the things that are difficult that are the very things that are holding you back. Yeah, that one really speaks to my heart.
Yeah.
For me in my life, it's taken the greatest courage. So if you're listening, I don't know if that resonates with you, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think that will resonate. I mean, I know, quite a few of my friends that have felt that as well, like deep, real deep. And it's hard. It is hard. And we're not saying that it's like easy. It's what we're having these conversations is because we all feel those things, right? Like, and it doesn't matter how healed you are or how spiritual you are or anything like that. These are things that we all feel and we all do it. And it happens all the time, but it's about how you can catch yourself so it stops happening, and you become aware of it. Like I know when this stuff still shows up in my life day to day, but I'm aware of it, so I know how to sort of stop, check in with myself and go, okay, what's really going on? Why am I self-sabotaging? Why am I procrastinating? Why am I being so inconsistent with things? Like there's always something underneath with that, right? So there's a whole heap of stuff there, but let's just do a little simple embodiment practice, yeah?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. If you're listening, close your eyes. Now,
Not if you're driving. Not if you're driving.
If you're driving, don't close your eyes. Maybe don't do this while you're driving. Maybe wait until you're not driving. But with a lot of the practices that Juliet and I will take you through, it will start with closing your eyes. And the reason why we say to close your eyes is that because you turn your focus inwards and we ask you to connect into your heart space. Yeah? Why do we get them to connect into their heart space, Juliet, or a spiritual one?
Well, Danielle, when we close our eyes and we go inwards and we connect in with our heart space, so by heart space we're talking about not the physical organ that is your heart. We're not talking about open heart surgery here. We're just talking about connecting in with that general area in the center of your chest. And it might even help if you're doing this practice with us now to bring your left hand up to your heart. It's a way of like physically connecting in with the energy there, because the heart is the seat of the soul. It's the place where we connect in with our inner wisdom, our inner truth, our inner guidance. And so rather than taking our guidance from all the busyness of our head and our egoic mind that's filled with all of our shoulds and shouldn'ts and fears and doubts and everything else that sabotages us in the first place, we want to come back home to the heart of our being and to our soul self. And a great way of doing that is to close your eyes, take a couple of slow, deep breaths, and just connect in with your heart space.
You make it sound so much better than I do. Thank you, Juliet. All right. So now that we've got all of that spiritual side of it, which is great, this is just one simple thing that you can do. So once you've thought of something that you want, close your eyes and say your intention out aloud. I am fully 100% committed to.
Fill in the blank. Can you give some examples, Danielle?
I am 100% committed to going to the gym every day this week. I am 100% committed to having that uncomfortable conversation with that person at work this week. I am 100% committed to giving my loved ones hugs every time I see them until they stop hugging me.
So it could be little things. It could be big things. Like I am 100% fully committed to finding the love of my life. I'm 100% committed to, leveling up in my career. Could be anything, little or small, little or big.
Anything. But what I'd like you to do is when you are saying that out aloud, I want you just to notice what your body does. Does it expand? Does it contract? Does it go numb? Do you lean forward? Do you fall backwards? Do you feel dizzy or overwhelmed? Because that somatic response is your inner truth.
It might even activate some anxiety for some people, like that little catch.
Yeah. And if your body can't hold the commitment yet, it doesn't mean you're not meant for it. It just means that there's energy to clear for you to integrate first. Yeah?
Yeah, and that's really exciting because it's showing you where the opportunity is in terms of what's currently blocking you and the opportunity for expansion so that you can really fully 100% align with the thing that you say you want rather than get caught up and held back by the thing that's actually catching you.
Yeah, and that I'll give an example of me. My big thing was speaking my truth, and I suffered with really bad anxiety. So the thought of speaking my truth gave me even more anxiety, and that just meant to me that I needed to do more healing, or I had to get underneath it to understand what was going on and why I was reacting that way when I just was to express and voice my truth. And it's really interesting because your body does give you all of the signs. We get so busy with life and noise that we don't connect into what our body is telling us. So yeah, that was the speaking my truth, and the way that my body responded to that over time was really interesting journey. Really interesting.
Yeah, really great example. With Luyip, we want to give you tools to change these things. So if you noticed you know there's something that you're wanting to experience in your life and your body contracted or kind of leaned back in any way, and it wasn't a full 100%, excuse the swear word, fuck yes, I'm fully committed and fully aligned, bring it on response, then that's okay. There's an opportunity there to shift the energy. So we're going to run through some powerful questions here, Danielle and I. And the great news is you don't have to write notes or remember them. We're going to share with you a PDF in the show notes for you to download and use. Think of it like a Luyip worksheet. And each week we'll share different things with you. So this week, given that we're starting at that beginning point of helping you get fully aligned in what it is you say you want, so that you're fully committed and it's a 100% energetic vibrational frequency match that you're putting out. Here's a few questions you can ask yourself to help shift the energy. I find asking questions really helps raise our awareness, brings on the insights, and helps bring in the guidance of our soul and our higher self to show us how to move forward more easily and more joyfully. So first question to ask, there's 9 questions. I'm going to kind of whiz through them. They'll all be on the PDF, so you don't need to worry. But the first question is, what is it that I say I want? And you've already kind of answered that with the beautiful process Danielle just took you through. The second question would be to ask yourself, and again, this is through not asking in the head, but actually closing your eyes and connecting with your heart, is to ask the question in your heart space, how committed am I? Like maybe on a scale of 0 to 10 or, out of a percentage, am I, kind of, 50-50, a little bit committed, but a little bit not, doing the hokey pokey, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Or, when we say, I'll try to get to the gym in the morning.
I try.
Yeah. I'll try and do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or the I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, do you? You do know.
So then we get into the juicy questions, which is kind of, a bit of excavating to get in to see what's kind of giving root rot or undermining our foundations. A question to ask in your heart space is, what am I willing to lose? What am I willing to give up along the way for this thing that I really want to be experiencing in life? Now, sometimes it's, an obvious thing like, well, I'm willing to give up some of my time to go to the gym, or I'm willing to give up my pride, or a bit of my, take on a bit of humility to go on a dating website and admit that I would like a partner in my life, or, a dating app. Sometimes the thing that we need to lose is, to give an example that Danielle just gave to feed into that is, giving up the need to be liked or to be approved of or accepted. Because if we have a conversation with someone, they might not like us, or they might not agree with us, or then give up the need to be understood, that other people understand us. Sometimes we hold ourselves back from going for the things that we want because we're waiting for everyone else to understand and appreciate who we are. And certainly my life as a healer, I definitely had to give up that need to be understood by my family, because no one else has walked this path within my family as, a spiritual healer in the ways that I am. So giving up, what am I willing to give up? And then also to check in with your level of commitment. Am I willing to stand up for this thing that I say I want? Am I willing to, here's the juicy one. Am I willing to prioritize this above all else?
Oof.
Ouch. Ouch.
And that's the challenge as well within commitment, right? Because you need to be 100% fully committed to it. And not everything around you or within your life is going to align with that. So nice and great.
Yep.
And that's really hard. It's hard, but that's why you have to be fully aligned and committed to whatever it is that you want, and have that unshakable commitment to yourself, and unshakable belief that it's possible for the change to happen.
Which is the fifth question. Do I believe it's possible? Am I living with absolute certainty that I know it's possible and I'm bringing it into my experience? Or, is there a part of me that doesn't fully believe I can have it, or doesn't feel safe having it, or doesn't feel worthy of having it? And then you can kind of dig a bit deeper and ask the question in your heart space. What subconscious belief or what story am I telling myself that I now need to level up and upgrade? So, use the example of going to the gym. I might have a story running that, it's not okay for me to be fit and healthy, or it's not safe for me to be in a body that feels alive because other people in my family might feel threatened by it, or it might shake some of my friendships. So, what's a new story I can tell myself? The people around me love me and want me to be healthy, happy, and well and strong within my body and my heart and my soul. So we can write new stories. And then the seventh question, this is where we really start leveling up the energy. What would a full body yes energy feel like in this situation? If you're a full body heck yes to the thing that you want, how would your body feel? Like straight away when I ask that question, if you're watching the video, my shoulders go back, my heart goes out, my energy expands, my spine is more upright. A full body just always uplifts us and energizes us.
Yeah, it's that real fuck yes. Isn't it? It is. Whenever you've stepped in or you've committed and you do, and it's like, fuck yes, I'm doing this. Like it's yes.
Because nothing's going to stop us. When we are 100% committed, all excuses fall away.
Mm-hmm.
All the blocks dissolve. We break all of our own patterns that have been holding us back, and nothing can stop us. So this brings us to the eighth question. What is it I now need to release or forgive or let go of or integrate for me to really fully 100% commit? And just notice whatever answers come. Maybe they're images or symbols or words or stories or ideas or thoughts, whatever it is. If you've got a journal book, write them down. These are the things I need to release. And then the last question is, am I willing to be fully accountable? Like that's taking you over the line. I am fully in, both feet, whole body, over the line. am I willing to be accountable? And who can I ask to be my accountability buddy? And that's something that, a lot of people that I work with, they say, Juliet, you're the only person I can talk to about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And that means there's no accountability buddy in their life. And it means we're doing the journey solo, which is one of the reasons why we want to create the Luyup Circle, to create that space, that safe space where we can support and uplift each other as we all together level up our inner power. And part of the Luyup Circle will be creating accountability buddies so we can uplift each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not journeying alone. It's such a big thing for me. And it keeps you absolutely 100% accountable if you've got someone that you can share that with. I know that when I've done fitness challenges, when I've, given up booze, when I've, made massive changes in my life, I've actually asked someone to be my accountability buddy because they'll be real and honest with me. And that's what I need. And sometimes I might say, hey, what the hell are you doing? You're not staying the course. And then, you have that real conversation. So it's having an accountability buddy is huge, huge, huge.
Yeah. And it's not to whip ourselves or, give ourselves a hard time. It's to bring in tools and resources and people that can support and uplift us in our life in ways that actually makes the journey easier, because we get to see the things that we're using as crutches and excuses, the things that are holding us back and what's really going on underneath. It's unpacking all of that juicy stuff. So, commitment is not about effort. It's about your inner vibrational frequency. I cannot express that clearly enough. Whether or not you're all in, and when you are, life will respond differently. Doors will open, synchronicities will show up in your life, opportunities will come to you, a new client will call you within like a minute. Things will click because your energy is finally fully coherent and in alignment with the thing that you say you want. And it's absolutely wonderful. It's the magic.
Yeah, it's so true, Julia. But here's the thing, right? So sometimes when we don't commit, it's because we're still outsourcing our power, outsourcing the power. So we're waiting for a guarantee. That's that whole, let's take a risk, but we're waiting for that guarantee. We're waiting for your partner. You're waiting for the money, the sign. But the thing is, commitment happens before all of the evidence, right? It really does. It creates the evidence. And the commitment doesn't mean perfection. It means that you're made a decision and you're actually going to take action. Like a full body, soul deep, I'm 100% in no matter what. And even if it's scary, like, oh my God, especially when it's scary, especially when fear is really like, oh my God, I can't do this. That is when you do it, right? That is when you step in and you say, I am 100% committed and nothing is going to stop me. None of that doubt, none of that worthiness, none of the people in my life, nothing is going to stop me. And that is 100% commitment. So we want to give you a challenge as we come to the end of this little podcast.
Ooh, challenge?
So going to give you a challenge for the week because that's what we do. Yeah. So I like to think that I'm a singer and I'm not. So here's the challenge for the week. So we want you to choose one thing, just one thing that you say you want. It can be anything. It can be big. It can be small. And we've given you examples throughout the podcast. So just take some time to just close your eyes, drop into your heart space and just think about that one thing, just one, and ask yourself, am I 100% committed to this? Or am I still holding myself back in some way? And then download the PDF and ask yourself the questions so that you can get started on clearing the energy. So if you have that somatic response, then it's about just clearing that energy. But keep asking yourself, am I 100% committed to this? And if you're honest enough to look for and name the wobble, you can shift it. You can transmute it. And that's the work we'll be doing inside the Luyup Circle. And that's the kind of depths we'll explore together. clearing our unseen blocks, aligning our frequency, activating our inner truth.
The main gift we want to give you is the tools and resources to really activate, switch on, and level up your inner power so that you are living your full truth. So if this episode, our first little new baby episode today, has resonated with you, first of all, again, thank you so much for listening. And, send us a message, drop us a line to let us know what's been powerful for you. It helps us to get that feedback, and it also helps affirm your truth of what's really resonated for you. And then we'd love you to share this episode with someone who in your life you feel like might benefit from it. And visit our website, luyip.com, and just, join the subscriber list, get some of our emails, and that way we'll be able to update you on when Luyip Circle is being birthed.
Yes.
It starts with the podcast here. So, of course, most of all, take the action step today to commit to the things you want in life because you deserve it, you're worthy, you're a beautiful divine being, and commit fully because you're not here to live a half-lived life. Your highest version of yourself is waiting for you to step into it, and the only thing missing is that full-on heck yes.
And thank you everyone for listening. We're so excited to bring you our next episode and 1,000 more after that.